All right, so here we are at Cabinavision, and what you're going to want to do from here is go into the Material Manager and then click on Texture. And you're going to want to click the New button or Import Image. Come on. Ah, right, select your category first, and then click the Import Image button. And you want to load an image from a file, which is this little button up here. And here in my Material Textures folder, because I downloaded it as a JPEG, not a BMP, we're going to find right here. I've named it Salt Saviola Noche Vanguard Tileable because this is a processed image and I know that it's going to tile. From here, you just open it. And one of the steps that I didn't really go over before, because it doesn't really play a role until right now, is determining how big you want the image to be. And what I have here is the original image, which is not the image that you should be checking for the information I'm talking about. The information I'm looking for is going to be right in here. Oh, no, it's not going to be right in here because I have it stored on Dropbox and GIMP can't access it. So, pausing the recording for just a second. I'm going to navigate and pull it up. All right, here we are. This is my tileable image that I have processed. So if you're in MS Paint, you can just go File, Image Properties, and you'll get a screen that will tell you the size of the image, both in pixels as well as in like inches or centimeters. And that's what I tend to look for. So in GIMP, it's going to be Image Properties, Image Properties. And I can see that here's my size in pixels and here is my actual print size. Now, the reason this matters is when you add this into Cabinavision, you need to maintain the ratio of width to height. Otherwise, your grain is going to get sort of stretched out and skewed, and it's not going to look very good. So what I tend to do is, and this is not very precise, but it works for me. A lot of times I will just take these dimensions that we're seeing here and I will multiply them by 10. So this would be, 32.8 by 67.7 inches. And if I try to envision what this sheet of material is that we're looking at, if it was nearly 33 by 68 inches, would the wood grains be sized about appropriately? In other words, would it scale kind of correctly so that when you are drawing it to scale in Cabinavision, are you going to get a door that is this image that we're looking at now? That would be the case if we left the image size very small. But if we increase the size by multiplying it by multiplying these values here by 10, when we import it into Cabinavision, what we're actually creating is an image in Cabinavision that renders, I guess I want to say smaller. I don't really have the right words for it, I'm sorry, but basically, um, the smaller the size is that you enter it into Cabinavision, the more detail you're going to get depending on the image that you had. So I'm sure that was not super helpful, but either way. So again, it was, I'm going to go 32.8 by 67.7 on the import here. So tiling just means it's instead of just taking the one image and stretching it in all directions to fit the size of every single part, it's going to use the world size that we enter and try to tile the image together on the different parts and pieces in such a way that it looks like one seamless image that is not stretched or skewed. And I recommend naming it something obvious. I can't even remember what this is called. Noche Vanguard. So from here, 32.8 by 67.7. At this point, we now have a texture in the software, something that we can select. And all you have to do from here is close this, go to your panel stock. I have templates because I got sick and tired of adding my material parameters every single time. I wanted to create a new material. And I've got non-grained and grained. Obviously the sizes and everything have to be changed. I'm not going to walk you through adding the material because that's not really what this is for. But I'm going to pause the video, add the material, get everything all set up, and then I'll show you the finished product. And this would be without me making any edits to the image beyond what you've seen so far. It will just be, the only steps you're not going to see are the actual creation of the material here in Cabinavision. You've already watched me create the texture.